John also, your brother and companion in tribulation, was on the isle called Patmos because of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. It was a day when the Spirit took hold of him and he found himself in a divine state unlike. Suddenly he heard a voice behind him loud as a trumpet echoing through the silent island air. He turned around swiftly to see the source of the power. There amidst a display of celestial brightness were 7 golden candlesticks shining grandly. In the midst of these candlesticks he saw one like unto the sun. The figure was clothed with a long garment reaching down to his feet, girt about the paps with a golden girdle as shining as the sun. His head and hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, glowing with an other world. His eyes burned with flames of fire, piercing and full of divine. His feet were like fine brass burned in a furnace, radiating fiery brilliance. His voice roared like many waters, deep and resonant, filling the entire island with majestic sound. In his right hand were 7 stars, symbols of divine authority and knowledge. Out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword representing power and judgment. His countenance shone brighter than the sun, in its strength radiating overwhelming glory. John was overwhelmed with awe and fell at his feet as if he were. The divine figure gently laid his right hand upon John and spoke with a calming voice. He said to John, "Fear not, I am the first and the last." The divine voice carried authority and reassurance, cutting through fear and doubt. John felt the gravity of the moment, a divine summons that carried high stakes and profound. The voice continued instructing him to write what he saw in a book and send it to the 7 churches in Asia. Each church, Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea, had their own challenges and spiritual battles. The visions poured into John's mind like a flood, each more thrilling and mysterious than. He saw angels battling in the heavens, their weapons blazing with celestial fire. Dark forces sought to overthrow divine order, creating chaos and peril throughout. The stakes were high, eternal destinies hung in the balance, hinging on divine revelations and faithful witness. John was thrust into a scene of cosmic wars where truth and deception clashed with roaring ferocity. He witnessed a great dragon, fierce and cunning, ready to devour the child destined to rule the nations. Amidst chaos, the Lamb appeared, worthy and victorious, standing on Mount Zion with a host of. The scene was packed with thrilling sequences that tested the limits of earthly imagination and faith. John's heart pounded as visions of the throne room of heaven unfolded before him, filled with smoke and divine. He saw angels with gleaming swords preparing for battles that would span eternity. There were seals to be opened, each revealing mysteries of future judgment and hope. The divine voice instructed John to write what he saw, ensuring the truth would reach all. He knew the message was high stakes, holding the keys to victory over evil and assurance of salvation. Throughout these divine revelations, John stood as a witness, his faith unwavering amid the divine being's countenance shone like the sun, illuminating the darkness with pure, overwhelming light. John's trembling body was overwhelmed, yet he stood firm, driven by divine purpose. The celestial scene vibrated